Hi, this is the first of a series of videos I will post on my YouTube channel uh, to help with Project 3. Project 3 uses an application known as Jupyter Notebooks. This first video is going to be all about installing and getting started with a Jupyter Notebook, and then we'll move on to how to use it and specifically how to work on Project 3. What you need to do is install Jupyter Notebooks first. The easiest way to do that is with an application called pip. PIP. Pip stands for the package installer for Python. Now, depending on how you got the Python distribution on your computer, you may have already had pip. You probably will. The easiest thing to do, if you're on a Mac, go to a terminal window. If you're on a Windows box, open a PowerShell window, and in it simply type pip, P-I-P, install Jupyter, Jupyter. This will install the Jupyter Notebook, and you'll see a scroll as everything is installed. When you get the terminal prompt again, it's installed. Now, a number of students always have issues that it doesn't work correctly. You might not have pip on your laptop. It might be in the wrong directory. If you don't, here's the easiest way to resolve this. This is a website known as pip.pypa.io installation. So it's pip.pypa.io/en for English/stable/installation. PYPA is a generic Python package resource. It's where people put free software that they've written for Python that they want to distribute. You can go there. If you cannot get pip to work on your computer in a terminal or a PowerShell window, go to this website, follow what it says. For example, it says right here, get pip.py. You can download the script from this particular site, open a terminal and run Python get pip.py. For Linux, that's the syntax. For Mac, it's the same. For Windows, it's a different prompt, but essentially the same command. Running get pip.py should get pip for you, and then you can go ahead and install Jupyter as I previously showed. There is another way if pip does not work, or if you've previously used a distribution controller called Anaconda. As I've mentioned, everything in Python tends to follow a snake metaphor. So there's a very popular distribution called Anaconda. You can get a variety of products from them for free. Anaconda.com. Then you go to products and you want the basic free open source Anaconda distribution. You can download it. You do have to register and create a free account, but then you can use something called the Anaconda Navigator to download Jupyter Notebooks. So if pip doesn't work, I recommend you use pip. If pip doesn't work, you can use Anaconda. Now, if you have the professional version of PyCharm, you can use Jupyter Notebooks directly in PyCharm, and I will talk about that in class someday. But for now, we're going to go back to a terminal, and we're going to presume that you have pip and it's installed Jupyter. Now, to run the application in your terminal, in your PowerShell window, you simply type Jupyter Notebook, singular, and remember, Jupyter spelled with a Y, not an I, like the planet. Jupyter Notebook. Now, Jupyter Notebook is a client-server application. So what it will do is it will actually create a server on your own laptop and a client that runs in your browser. This will open a window in your default browser. In my case, it's Chrome. So here we have a new Chrome tab with Jupyter. If you look up here in the URL bar, in the address bar, it tells me it's localhost tree, that means the server's actually running on my local computer and the client's connecting it there. It's all running here. We don't need to go to the network. Once you have created Jupyter files, the default is it will show you anything you've got that's already run. And as you can see, I've been using this for quite a while and it exists out there, a lot of stuff. You may discover you've already got some things you didn't know were valid Jupyter files, but they are. That's okay. What we want to do is click on this button right here. We want to create a new Jupyter file for project 3. Okay, we want to create a new, and we're by default going to take Python 3. We don't want to create a text file, a folder, or a terminal. You may want to do that sometime. For project 3, we want a new Python 3 Jupyter notebook. And so we get a page that looks like this. Again, up top, we have localhost 888 notebooks, etc. The default is this is untitled. In my case, it looks like it wants to call it untitled 16. You can come up and click in here and say, I want to call this project 3.ip1nb. All Jupyter notebooks have extensions .ipynb. It is not .py, it's ipnb. That's because originally Jupyter notebooks were known as IPython notebooks, and so that's the extension created for IPython notebooks. Okay, so I will create another video, but at this point, you should be able to have a Jupyter notebook up and running on your computer.